Hey, shoot another one. Fuck it.
Two more takes.
Yeah.
You guys gotta get out of the street. You're gonna be placed in custody.
Hey, get on the sidewalk. Get on the sidewalk. Hey, give me what you call.
Chicago's Gangster Two-Six Nation, a notorious bunch running drugs in Little Village, has taken a hit by federal and city authorities. More than 20 of the gangbangers are now behind bars.
Crimes are serious. It's almost laughable with the colorful cast of characters that jump out of these pages. In January, investigators followed an alleged drug runner named Steve Dragon here to Broadway and Belmont. In the trunk of a BMW, they knew he had 500 grams of and they organized a sting. Police told Dragon he looked like a suspect in a purse snatching. They asked him to go with them to a mock lineup, and while he was gone, police seized the cocaine from his BMW.
The Gangster Two-Six Nation is one of Chicago's most established and feared Mexican-American street organizations. Born in 1968 as a youth baseball team called the Five Stair Step in Little Village, it transformed into a full-fledged gang by the early 1970s, taking its name from 26th and Sawyer. With cartel connections, a militant structure, and rapid growth, Two-Six spread from its home turf to neighborhoods like Back of the Yards, Marquette Park, Cicero, and beyond. Known for its loyalty, brutal conflicts, and dozens of sets like Damenville, M-Town, F-Block, and SosaGang, the Two-Six Nation has remained a major force in Chicago's street landscape. This piece breaks down its deep history, violent rivalries, fallen leaders, and the sets that still keep the name alive today.
I left the club, I walked out, jumped in the car ran up next to me. I looked at him, he thought I was flashing gang signs. All hell broke loose, and started shooting us. Hold on. I got shot 6 times, in the stomach, in the thigh, in the sides. I got fractured bones. Being in the gang gave me more knowledge about who my family is, and my loved ones, and knowing what's right and what's wrong, and who's the real people that love you. From the real part, you know who your friends are and who
I enjoy the adrenaline rush. I enjoy fighting, I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy just the risk of being out here. I enjoy seeing all my friends every day. I enjoy drinking with them. I enjoy seeing different girls all the time. I enjoy making bonds with my friends. The longer you chill, the more stuff you do, the closer you get together.
Yeah, being as Two-Six. And it all started a long time ago when I was young, smaller. Much younger than I am now. Over some, I used to live in the wrong neighborhood, and they always try to recruit me to become a Land King. I don't want to become no Land King. I didn't know I was going to be part of a gang, but after they started harassing me and, threatening me, I just switched to the other side.
The Two-Six Nation, one of Chicago's most prominent Mexican-American street gangs, traces its roots back to 1968 in the Little Village neighborhood. Originally formed as a youth baseball team called the Five Stair Step by a group of 11 and 12-year-olds attending McCormick Elementary, the group evolved into a street crew known as Two-Six by 1970, named after their hangout at 26th and Sawyer. In its early years, the group remained informal, eschewing colors, symbols, or graffiti. But that changed in 1977 with the arrival of Teddy Sweetwine Ordonez, a former South Chicago gang member who married into the Ayala family, key players in Little Village's street economy, and connected to major H pipelines from Mexico through the Montemare family. This relationship tied Two-Six to powerful cartel operations, giving them access to weapons and drug connections unmatched by rivals like the Latin Kings and Ridgeway Lords. Alfonso Ayala Jr. officially transformed Two-Six into a structured gang, complete with colors black and beige, sweaters, and symbolism. With expansion came influence. New chapters quickly emerged across Little Village, K-Town Two-Six, Chi-Town Two-Six, and DarkSide Two-Six. They also spread to white-dominated neighborhoods like Brighton Park and Garfield Ridge, clashing with greaser gangs and insane popes. 2-6 rapidly grew in power, establishing turf in Marquette Park, Cicero, Joliet, and other suburbs, and was invited to join the Folk Nation in 1978 due to their alliance with the Disciples. They helped form the Insane Gangster Alliance alongside the Satan Disciples and Tutu Boys. Tragedy struck in 1979 when Alfonso Jr. met his demise, and leadership passed to his younger brother David Ayala, just 16 at the time. Known as El Jefe, David became a feared and respected figure, expanding the gang's influence and income, buying a home in the suburb of Westchester while directing drug sales and enforcing control through violence. But in 1981, following a deadly shooting at Piotrowski Park that left 2 innocents dead, Ayala was arrested, convicted, and sentenced to life in prison. Many believe the conviction was wrongful and that the shooters acted without his orders. Even behind bars, Ayala maintained control throughout the 80s and 90s, helping coordinate operations across Chicago and the suburbs. During this time, the gang structure grew stronger, but also faced new conflicts, especially after a violent fallout with former allies in 1986, including the Tutu Boys, Satan Disciples, and Ambrose. A deadly shooting at a party in Marquette Park ended the 2-2-6 alliance and sparked multiple wars. In the decades that followed, 2-6 expanded further into suburbs like Bolingbrook, Hoffman Estates, and Romoville.
Before the judge made their ruling is an understatement. That's because both men served 42 years in prison, even though there was no physical evidence linking them to the crime. A judge threw out the convictions and the cousins will walk free. Soto and Ayala's attorneys say the men were convicted almost solely based on coerced witness testimonies. They never confessed to the crimes. The cousins were arrested in 1981 at just 18 and 20 years old. Their attorneys say this makes them the longest ever wrongfully incarcerated in the state.
After spending 42 years behind bars, a Chicago man has walked free tonight. This is video from just hours ago when James Soto was finally able to greet his family after being exonerated of. And today, a Cook County judge vacated the convictions of Soto and his cousin David Ayala, saying the two did not get adequate counsel after the murders of a Marine and a teenager in 1981.
Somebody sitting in the cell, a male or a female, in the IDOC who feels all hope is lost, and it's my hope I could reach back and help one of them.
While enduring internal feuds, leadership changes, and wars with former allies like the Gangster Disciples and La Raza. By 1998, David Ayala was placed in Tam's Supermax prison, effectively cutting him off from the organization. Despite horrific conditions, he maintained his mental strength. In recent years, advocacy efforts have shed light on his case, and after serving over 40 years in prison, Ayala has reportedly been granted release, a major moment in the story of the 2-6 Nation. In a high-profile case tied to gang violence in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood, 22-year-old Oscar Garcia was ordered held on $2 million bail for his alleged role in a deadly 2014 shooting. The attack, which occurred in the early hours of September 1st, left 23-year-old Oscar Rodriguez dead and a 16-year-old boy seriously wounded. According to prosecutors, Garcia, an alleged member of the Latin Kings, and his accomplice, Ezequiel Villanueva, targeted a yard on the 4300 block of West 25th Place, where members of the rival 2-6 gang had gathered. Surveillance footage showed the two men circling the block 3 times in a silver sedan before entering the area. Garcia is seen opening fire, while Villanueva stood watch at the gate. After the shooting, both fled down a nearby alley. Rodriguez was struck in the back of the head and died at the hospital the next day. The teenage victim was shot 3 times but survived. Authorities later identified both suspects from the video, with a veteran officer recognizing Garcia and another officer identifying Villanueva by his tattoos and distinct hairstyle. Both men were charged with first-degree deletion and attempted deletion. An 18-year-old man, Andrew Elam, has been charged in connection with the fatal shooting of Joshua Mina at a gas station in southwest suburban Burbank. The incident occurred on the night of July 26 around 10:49 p.m. when police responded to reports of gunfire at the Gulf gas station located at 8458 South Cicero Avenue. Upon arrival, officers found a vehicle that had crashed into a nearby building. Inside the car, Mina was discovered in the driver's seat suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. He was rushed to Christ Medical Center in Oak Lawn but succumbed to his injuries 2 days later. Authorities later identified Elam, a resident of Hometown, as the suspected shooter. He was arrested in Hickory Hills on Tuesday and charged with one felony count of aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. A 16-year-old boy has been charged with first-degree deletion in connection with the fatal shooting of 38-year-old Jose Morales in Chicago's Back of the Yards neighborhood. The incident occurred on August 17th, when Morales was shot in the abdomen while standing on a sidewalk near the 4800 block of South Walcott Avenue, just 2 blocks from his home. He was transported to Mount Sinai Hospital, where he later died from his injuries. Chicago police arrested the teen suspect approximately a half-mile from the scene. Due to his age, the suspect's name has not been released. Israel Melendez was sentenced to 102 years in prison after being convicted of deletion and attempted deletion stemming from a deadly 2012 shooting in Chicago's Back of the Yards neighborhood. The attack occurred on the night of April 20, 2012, in the 1900 block of West 48th Street. According to authorities, Melendez exited a vehicle around 9 p.m., shouted gang slogans, and opened fire on 2 individuals with a handgun. The gunfire deleted 20-year-old Alexander Mendoza, who was struck in the head, and wounded a 17-year-old boy in the abdomen. After the shooting, Melendez fled in the car, which drove off west on 48th Street and then south on Damon Avenue. Mendoza was pronounced dead at Stroger Hospital, while the 17-year-old survived.
That's right, Sally. 2 people are now in custody, including a 16-year-old believed to be the shooter. Sources telling us that 16-year-old has multiple robbery arrests in his background, a felony carjacking case that he had just finished fighting. Also, we're told that he had just been released from electronic monitoring weeks ago. Also charged in the case is a 27-year-old Javier Guzman. He's facing first-degree and attempted first-degree as well. 8-year-old Melissa Ortega was struck by stray gunfire Saturday just before 3 p.m. near 26th and Pulaski. She and her mom had just migrated to Chicago from Mexico 6 months ago. Police have said the incident was gang-related. The 16-year-old had been dropped off to the area before allegedly shooting at a rival gang member. Brown said a handgun was recovered that matched shell casings at the scene.
In January 2022, 8-year-old Melissa Ortega was fatally shot in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood while walking hand in hand with her mother. The incident, which took place in broad daylight, left the city shaken and sparked an outpouring of grief, outrage, and calls for reform. Melissa and her family had recently immigrated from Zacatecas, Mexico, to pursue the American dream. But on January 22nd, that dream was shattered when gunfire erupted near 26th Street and Kamensky Avenue around 3 p.m. The intended target, a 29-year-old man affiliated with a gang, was wounded but survived. Melissa was struck and later died from her injuries. Her mother, Aracelia Linos, was left devastated. Police say the shooting was gang-related. The shooter, a 16-year-old boy, was charged as an adult with first-degree deletion, attempted deletion, and multiple weapons charges. Xavier Guzman, 27, was charged as the getaway driver. Surveillance footage, community tips, and a recovered firearm helped lead to their arrests. Melissa was a third-grade student at Emiliano Zapata Academy and had only been in the United States for a few months. Her body was later transported back to Mexico for burial, thanks to an outpouring of community donations through a GoFundMe campaign that raised over $68,000. DarkSide 3600, a gangster Two-Six set located on 36th and Washtenaw. Mozart 4-6, a Gangster Two-Six set located on 46th and Mozart. Damenville, also known as Yak Gang, is a Gangster Two-Six set based in the back of the Yards neighborhood of Chicago. With roots dating back to the 1980s, this crew has maintained a firm presence on the South Side, building a reputation for toughness and rivalry with nearly every gang surrounding their turf. The set has also made its mark in the music scene through artists like Stain Savage and Snowman 049, whose visuals and lyrics offer a gritty look into life in Damenville. Their music continues to carry the voice and legacy of the neighborhood. Avers 3-1 is a Gangster Two-Six set located around 31st Street and Avers Avenue in the Little Village neighborhood. Known for its deep ties to the 2-6 movement, this corner holds significance within the broader network of South Side Street activity. Chi-Town 2-4 is a Gangster Two-Six set based around 24th Street and Harding Avenue in the heart of Little Village. No Love Side 32 is a Gangster Two-Six set located near 32nd Street and Kedvale. Known for its fierce loyalty to the 2-6 Nation. Based around 25th Street and Kildare, DarkSide, also known as 25 Hubdred, is a Gangster Two-Six set with a strong presence in the heart of Little Village. Known for its gritty street reputation, the set has produced notable rappers like Baby Carlito and Risky who rep DarkSide through their music and storytelling, shining a light on life in the 2500. SosaGang, also known as C Block 6300, is a Gangster Two-Six set holding down the 63rd and Central area on Chicago's southwest side. Active since the early 1990s, this crew has been deeply entrenched in the local gang landscape, engaging in violent rivalries with multiple nearby sets, including the almighty 12th Street Players, Latin Counts, Insane Popes, and Latin Kings. Known for its longevity and intense street presence, SosaGang remains a defining force in the ongoing turf wars of the area. M-Town, also known as Kamensky Gang, is a Gangster Two-Six faction based in Little Village, primarily holding down 28th and Kamensky, with a notable presence on 30th and Kamensky as well. Active since the 1990s, this set rose to prominence in an area formerly controlled by the Satan Disciples, eventually establishing itself as a dominant force in the neighborhood. The gang maintained strong ties with other Two-Six sets, while engaging in heated rivalries with groups like Hellzone and the Latin Kings. Known for its deep roots and reputation for violence, M-Town continues to be a significant player in the ongoing street politics of Little Village. Located around 38th and Homan, H-Block is a Gangster Two-Six set with deep roots in this stretch of Chicago's South Side. Based around 27th and Avers, Avers 2-7 is a Two-Six affiliated crew known for its street-level presence and historic connection to the Little Village section. Holding down 40th and Albany, a Block 40, also known as Terror Town, is a Gangster Two-Six set with a fearsome reputation. The block is known for producing heavy hitters and maintaining a stronghold in the area, reinforcing Two-Six influence through both presence and pressure. Centered at 30th and Lawndale, L30 is a Gangster Two-Six set deeply entrenched in ongoing conflicts with the almighty Latin Kings of nearby Lawndale Street, holding down the area around 27th and Trip. Wild Side 27 Hubdred is a smaller but active Two-Six clique known for its loyalty and contribution to the broader network of sets in Little Village. Located at 30th and Karloff, G-Side or K30 is a Gangster Two-Six set known for its street activity and connection to the local music scene. One of the block's standout voices is Wacko Dogs, whose gritty tracks reflect the reality of life on K30. Based in 61st and Lawndale, Grimeyville L61 is a 2-6 set holding down a key section of Chicago's southwest side. Operating out of 31st and Keeler, the Keeler Boys are a Gangster Two-Six set with a long-standing presence in the Little Village area. Based around 45th and Whipple, 45 Watts, also known as No Loveville, is a 2-6 branch known for its deep street ties and aggressive stance against rivals. Located at 38th in Albany, a Block 38 is a core part of Terrortown, one of the most recognized Gangster 2-6 territories in the city. Holding down 38th and Francisco, F Block, also referred to as F-Town, is a well-known faction within Terrortown. M-Town NLMB, Never Leave My Brothers, is a Gangster 2-6 set located in the Chicago Lawn District on the city's southwest side, specifically between 65th and 67th Streets, stretching from Francisco to California Avenue. This emerging branch of the 2-6 Nation is commonly referred to as 6600 M-Town, with 66th Street being their primary hangout and the inspiration behind many of their aliases. Despite being one of the newer additions to the 2-6 umbrella, M-Town quickly made a name for itself in hostile territory. Separated geographically from other 2-6 sets and surrounded primarily by African American gangs, M-Town had to fight for recognition and survival from the beginning. Uniquely, they have developed tensions not only with most nearby Latin gangs, but also with several gangster disciple sets, an uncommon dynamic within 2-6 alliances. Based around 61st Street and Central Park Avenue, Get Busy Gang, or CP61, is a Gangster 2-6 faction that represents the Chicago Lawn section on the city's southwest side. Known for their aggressive presence and deep loyalty to the 2-6 Nation, the name Get Busy is both a rallying call and a tribute to their fallen members. Operating out of 63rd and Hamlin, Chapo City is a branch of the Gangster 2-6 Nation with a reputation for resilience and strong street ties. This set has taken on the Chapo name as a symbol of leadership, dominance, and ambition. TriggerSide, a branch of the Gangster 2-6 operating in the 6800 block, maintains tight affiliations with other 63rd Street 2-6 sets, often referred to collectively as 6 Trade 2-6. Known for being highly active and deeply rooted in their turf, TriggerSide is frequently at odds with numerous rival sets, including Insane Gangster Satan Disciples 59th, 72nd and Central Park, Almighty Ambrose 63rd, Almighty Crosby Get Down Boys, Almighty Party Players 65th and Spalding, and certain Maniac Latin Disciples cliques. Homicide Town, located near 63rd and Holman, is a feared and recognized Gangster 2-6 set known for its no-nonsense approach to street life. The name alone carries weight, echoing the area's violent past and present. Located at 65th and Spalding, this Gangster 2-6 set shares territory with the nearby Party Players, creating a unique dynamic on the block. Once a thriving and heavily active set, 6500 Spalding has seen a drop in membership over the years. Many younger members have shifted to other neighboring 2-6 sets, though a few older heads still hold down the block and represent the legacy of this historic section. The 65th and St. Louis STL set was formerly a stronghold for the 2-6 Nation on Chicago's southwest side. However, like several nearby cliques, STL has experienced a notable decline in recent years. Most of its members have since aligned with neighboring sets like TriggerSide or Chapo City, though the block still holds symbolic value in GTS history. This lesser-known Gangster 2-6 set holds territory around 62nd and Holman. While not as prominent as some of the other surrounding sets, it remains a recognized part of the 2-6 umbrella and contributes to the broader network in the area. KTF, short for Keeler 2-6 Faction, operates out of 24th and Keeler in Little Village. Though smaller in size, this set holds historical weight in the neighborhood and maintains traditional 2-6 values with a focus on loyalty and street respect. 24th and Karlov, part of the DarkSide of Little Village, is another active Gangster 2-6 clique. This area has been a long-standing corner of 2-6 territory, contributing to the DarkSide identity known for its grit and tough presence within the hood. This set, repping 30th and Harding, goes by H30 and is part of the expanding Gangster Two-Six presence across Little Village and surrounding areas. Though relatively low profile, H30 stays tapped in with other nearby sets and holds down their turf. Knox refers to the 2-6 presence stretching from 63rd and to 63rd and Knox. Based out of 66th and Mozart, this 2-6 set is known for its newer generation and musical ties. One of their standout names is rapper 2 Timps, who has represented Mozart through his music and visuals, giving a voice to the block and keeping its name alive in the streets and on the mic. The story of the Gangster Two-Six Nation is one of transformation, survival, and enduring legacy. From its roots on the corners of Little Village to a sprawling network of blocks known as Damenville, MurderTown, Cheposity, and TriggerSide, the 2-6 name continues to hold weight in the streets of Chicago. Generations of members have passed through its ranks, some becoming legends, others meeting tragic ends, and a few rising into cultural figures through music and storytelling. What makes 2-6 unique is its ability to unify a wide array of disconnected blocks under one nation, all while navigating betrayals, prison sentences, and full-scale wars with both old rivals and former allies. Even in the face of massive arrests, leadership losses, and shifting gang alliances, sets like NLMB MurdaTown, G-Side K30, and DarkSide 2500 remain active, reminding the city that 2-6 is far from extinct. But this legacy is not without pain. From the loss of founders like Alfonso Ayala Jr. and David Ayala's decades-long incarceration, to the innocent victims caught in the crossfire of gang wars, the cost of the streets has always been high. Stories like that of 8-year-old Melissa Ortega serve as painful reminders of how deeply these conflicts affect not just members, but entire communities. Still, for many, 2-6 is more than just a gang. It's a family, a code, and a symbol of survival in a city where few things are promised. Whether through street anthems, murals, or memorials, the name continues to echo across neighborhoods and generations. In Chicago's gang history, the Rabbit remains one of the most feared, respected, and complex emblems of the underground.